Hi guys, this is Michael, Treelinebackpacker.com. I wanted to bring you a preview of the REI Arete all-season light tent. This is a sort of a 3+ 4-season tent. It's designed to be used in the winter, summer, a little bit warmer, stronger than your typical 3-season tent, but it's not quite designed to be a mountaineering, kind of Everest type tent. I'm working on a review of this right now, but I wanted to bring you a preview of it while I had it out. You can check back, I'll have the full review up eventually, and I'll post a link in the comments below. Now, a couple things to point out: you do have a full nylon body. That's going to help to keep you warmer in the winter, which is mostly where this ASL comes from. It's the all-season light. That's going to really be helpful when the temperature drops. You can see they use the old school sort of sleeve pole design. That's to compensate for the lightweight build. It's going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better in the wind, despite having these lightweight fabrics. If you look up real close, you can see some Velcro patches here on the outside of the body. That's also going to keep the rain fly in place. It's going to reduce noise, reduce shift. You have these vents on the top that can be unzipped from the inside, which is nice. So you do get some good ventilation there when you need it. You have the 3-pole design. The front primarily is to add wind stability, and it also, you'll see later when I put the fly on, is going to extend the vestibule space, maybe give you just enough room to cook under there, store some gear. It's a decent sized tent. It is designed to be a lightweight tent, so it's not super roomy, but it will fit 2 people fairly comfortably. You have the full nylon and mesh door, so you can unzip the nylon to reveal the mesh for better breathability, which is how I have it set up now. And as you can see, it's a pretty typical size, pretty steep walls on the inside, so you do have some headroom there. Got the typical clips on the front pole coming into the center hub here. That works out pretty well, makes it a lot easier to pitch. These pole sleeves do take a little bit of strength to be able to get them in there, but it's not too bad. It can definitely be done. The tent stakes are pretty terrible. No clue why they invented the old school sheep hook design there. If you're really pitching for an all-season tent, not something I would usually do, but the tent is roughly $350, so not too bad. So that's the outside. Let's take a look with the fly on. So here we are with the fly on. It's got a really nice color palette. I do like how it looks. It's a great looking tent. You can see a fair sized vestibule on the front. This is where that center pole brow is coming in handy. You can see it extends the front vestibule to get it off the ground a bit. It does give you some extra space to cook, to pack some gear. With 2 people, again, that space is going to be kind of tight. But this is a lightweight tent, so we're going to let them get away with that. You see some guy out points on the side. We have it staked out. This is just about as good as the pitch gets, which is pretty solid. But there is a little bit of slack here and there. So far, my biggest complaint is it did not come with enough stakes or guy lines to fully guide out. If you really want to guide this sucker out, you have enough guy lines for the back, but the only place you have to stake them out is here or back here, because they simply don't include enough tent stakes. That seems to be increasingly common these days, but that does bother me. As you can see, you do get some slack in the back here, and that's from just not having enough stakes. And you don't have a guy line that can connect to that either, unless you strip it from the sides, which sadly these sides are going to be your weak point, so you're really going to need to guy these out. You do have a nice brow up top. You can see this does a good job of holding up in the vents, which I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but you can open these from the inside, and you do have a tensioner here. You can actually tighten that down, so if you do have some wind coming through, it's not going to be too bad. Stepping on the guy line there. You do need to use the included guy lines and stakes on the side, because without that, that's very flappy, and that's going to cause you some problems. It's going to be windy, noisy, so you're going to want to invest there if you really want to take this out into some rough weather. It does include enough to get you by. It's not great. Let's take a look at the door. Sorry if we get a little bit of shaky cam here. It is a double zipper door, so you can unzip from the top. And roll it down. That's as far down as that rolls, but that is handy if it's really soggy outside and you've got some condensation buildup. You can drop that to the ground and crawl over it instead of unzipping it and dropping it onto the tent or your gear. So that's kind of handy. I do like that the zippers slide pretty smooth. Got a good Velcro down here. Keep that in place. When you unzip it, the door gets completely out of the way, which is great. The front does stay pretty stable and taut even when it's undone. Let's see if we can crawl inside. Again, sorry for a shaky cam. So this is the inside with the fly on. The colors do create a very warm, inviting environment, so if you're spending a lot of time in your tent, it's really nice. You have a pocket here, up top, a few triangular pockets. Not a lot of storage, but I found it to be enough. Here we have the internal vent access. I will note that just stepping into the tent is significantly warmer than being outside, which is what I want out of a four season. Just opening that up, I can already feel a breeze. And more of a breeze. And you've got a good airflow right through here. Here's the tensioner. Cinch up that slack on the outside. And this is really handy, especially if you're in a humid environment. As the tent gets a little wetter, your materials are going to start to stretch and you're going to get some slack. This is going to let you correct that from inside the tent, which is handy. Again, you get good airflow between these and the large open door. Here's our view. You can see it's fairly roomy. In the toe it's a little tight, but you do have plenty of room for two people to sit up and get around, do whatever they need to inside the tent without too much fuss. Vegetable space is pretty good. Be able to get a couple backpacks. A little better if you stack them with your gear. You're really gonna have to shuffle things around if you're gonna try to cook under this. Not a whole lot of height, but just enough. Overall, the materials are really nice. Good strong nylons for the walls. The floor is plenty thick enough. You're not going to have to worry about a footprint or any of that. The zippers slide really nice. The mesh, pretty good, especially for the cost. Overall, pretty well liking the tent. I look forward to doing the full review. Check back and I'll post a link when that's ready. Give me a month or so. I like to test these things pretty thoroughly. But that is the REI Arete All Season Light 2-man tent. Treelinebackpacker.com. Thanks for watching.